Hi, I'm Lisa Bardot, and today I have a special treat for you. I just released my new course, Easy Eye-Catching Animations in Procreate, which teaches you how to make fun little animations that are so captivating and so quirky and fun that you can use in tons of different ways. In this course, I teach you how to create 15 different animations in Procreate. These are really fun 10 to 15 minute bite-sized lessons that are packed with all the animation essentials that you'll need to know to create your own animations. And today I am sharing one of those lessons with you for free. The following video is lesson number 4 from this course, where I teach you how to animate a word as though it's being written. If you'd like to take the full course, you can find it on artmakersclub.com and on Skillshare. Happy animating! Welcome to lesson number 4 of Easy Eye-Catching Animations in Procreate. Today, I'm going to teach you how to animate a word as though it's being written. This is a fun animation technique that can be used in so many different ways. Now, if you haven't already seen it, I highly recommend watching Sam Smith's illustrated music video for the song Lose You. And prepare to have your mind blown, because the whole thing was animated using Procreate. And now that you've gotten a little bit of experience about what that's like, I think you'll have a whole new appreciation for the hard work that went into this. The artwork was animated by illustrator Loretta Isaac from Romania, and it is stunning. And in this video, you're going to see a lot of those words that look like they're being written, and that's exactly what we're going to be learning today. In addition to getting more practice with Procreate's animation tools, I'm also going to be introducing you to a few new ones today. Let's get started. Let's begin by creating a new canvas. Let's tap the plus sign in the upper right corner. And this time we're going to use the screen size canvas template. So choose screen size, and that'll pop you right into the Procreate interface. I always like to get started by setting up some colors. So let's begin by setting our background color for this piece. We're going to go up to the layers menu, these two little squares here, and we're going to tap background color. And for this piece, I want to do kind of like a reddish orange background with some pink text. So I'm going to choose kind of a reddish orange color, something like that. And then I'm going to go over to my brushes. And for this piece, I'm going to be using a brush called Inka, which can be found in the inking set that's built right into Procreate. So go ahead and choose Inka. And then we're going to tap over to our color picker in the upper right corner to set the color of our brush. For this one, I'm going to choose kind of a warm, light pink color. So something like that. I can test that out, see how it looks. I actually think I want to make it a little bit lighter than that. So I'll just go a little bit lighter. I think that looks great. And right now my brush size is set to 28%. So now it's time to write the word that we're going to animate. And since this is our first time learning this technique, let's choose a word that is very short and simple. The longer your word is, the longer it's going to take to animate. So just while we're learning, we're going to do a really simple word, and I'm going to show you how to animate the word okay. So let's write okay. I'm going to be writing this in cursive because I think it looks really awesome when it's animated, but this technique does work for other styles of lettering. It doesn't have to be in cursive. So let's go ahead and write okay. So I'm going to start by drawing my O. So that's a big circle with a loop. I'm going to come up and loop for the top of my K and come down. And then I like to lift my pencil off and start the next part of the K over here. So I kind of draw it like this. So that's my okay. And because I want this to be a very excited okay, I'm going to add an exclamation point. Okay. All right. So that's looking really good. Now I'm just going to recenter this using the transform tool. So it's right in the middle of my canvas. So I'm going to tap here on the little arrow, and then I'll just put it right in the middle like that. And now we're ready to start turning this into an animation. We're going to be using what we just wrote as a guide for our entire animation. So this, what we just drew, is actually not going to be a frame in the animation. It's just going to be our guide for creating the animation. So just like you would with any sketch when you're working in Procreate, we're going to reduce the opacity so we can use it as a guide, kind of like a sketch. So go up to your layers. You're going to tap the little N on the layer that says okay. And then you're going to reduce the opacity so it's just kind of visible. Mine's around 27%. All right, now it's time to turn on our animation tools. We're going to go up to the actions menu, the little wrench. We're going to tap canvas, And then here it says animation assist, we're gonna go ahead and toggle that on. And now we have our animation timeline down here at the bottom. So this lettering right here, this is gonna be my guide, and I want it to be visible in every single frame of animation as I work on creating the animation. So I need it to always be there. So to do that, we're gonna set it to be our background frame. You can do that by tapping on the little frame thumbnail down here in the timeline, and then toggling on where it says background. Now you can see that it's the background, it has this extra little blue bit on it, and it will be visible in every frame of your animation, which is great for us to use as we work. So now we're going to tap add frame, and that's going to create a new blank frame, and it's time to start writing our word. So I'll zoom in a little bit, and you're going to start wherever you would have naturally started writing this word and just draw a little bit of it like that. Then you're going to tap add frame. And now you can see that your previous frame has become an onion skin. That's why it's turned red. So you can use it as a guide to see where to draw your next frame. So now you're just going to draw a little bit further and then add frame. And then you keep going, go a little bit further, tap add frame. Now, sometimes I think that this onion skin, it shows all the previous frames like stacked up on each other. So I like to actually reduce the number of onion skins that it's showing at any given time till it just shows the previous one. So we can do that by going here where it says settings, and we have the slider that says onion skin frames. So I'm going to slide that down until it's just 1. I'm just having it set to 1 so I can only see the previous layer. I'm also going to reduce the onion skin opacity, which is right here, so that it's just barely visible, because I don't want to be tracing over the previous frame. I want to always make sure I'm tracing over my guide that I created, this background frame that is my guide. So always be tracing over that, so that way you'll get the most consistency in your overall word. But just use that as a guide to see how far you need to go. So now I can keep going, add a little bit more, add frame, draw a little bit more, keep going, add frame, draw a little bit more, add frame, a little bit more, gotta zoom out over here, add frame, draw a little bit more. Getting a lot of practice doing lettering by doing this type of animation. Lots of work with hand control. There we go, and we'll keep going. And then one thing I want to note is that when you're naturally writing in cursive, anytime that you write down, you always write a little bit faster. Like on your ups, you're slower, and then you're down, you're faster. That's kind of just how you would naturally write. So you can make your writing animation go a little bit faster on these downstrokes, like here on this K, just by increasing the amount of like space you add. So if you want it to go really slow, you just add a little bit every time. But if you want it to go fast, you'd add a lot. So let me show you what that's. Let's add a frame. I'm going to keep going. So far, we've been kind of adding the same amount every time. But now I'm going to add more. Like I just added a nice chunk there. And now let's keep going. Oops. Now maybe I'll go even further down. So it's taken me like 3 frames to go that whole distance, where like other distances took me more frames. So that's how you can make that seem faster. All right, let's keep going. So just keep adding frames and keep writing over your word. Oops. It's a little time consuming to do this type of animation, but I think it's nice if you're like, you know, just put on some music, get into the flow, write that word over and over and over again. All right, I've done my whole word. Now I'm ready to do my exclamation point, but I kind of want just a little bit of a pause before I start writing the exclamation point, like you might write and then do that. So I'm going to add a frame. I'm just going to do the okay. And then I'm not going to do the exclamation point because I want there to be a little bit of a pause. So now I'm going to add frame. And in this frame, I'm going to start drawing the exclamation point. And I could probably do that whole thing in 3 frames because it's a downstroke and you kind of write exclamation points kind of fast. Like you're like, you know, so I'll do like 3 frames for that. Oops. And next I'll do the little period at the bottom, the dot. Okay. Okay, we finished the whole thing. And now is the moment of truth where we get to hit play and see our animation. So go ahead and hit play. Ta-da! It's really fun. And you can, of course, adjust the speed of your animation. So if you think it's going a little bit fast, you can tap here where it says settings. And you can reduce the frames per second with this slider. So if you wanted to go a little bit slower, you can. Let's see, I'm at 10 frames per second, and I think that looks really good. So one thing that I would like is, you know, it writes the whole word and then it very quickly erases and starts over. So I kind of want the word to hold for a minute, or not a minute, but like a couple frames. So I'm gonna actually hit pause. I'm gonna go to the end of my animation. I'm gonna tap add frame and I'm gonna write the word again. And I'm going to do that a few times so that the whole word will remain, you know, on the screen in my animation for just a little bit longer of time. Whoops, do that one more time. So go ahead and add some more frames and write your word, maybe like 3, 4, 5 more times. It's up to you. You can always hit play and see if the pause is long enough. So I'll test it after this one. Okay, I'll hit play. So yeah, now you can see it, like you can actually read the word for a little bit longer. In fact, I might add a couple more and then be good with this one. So I'm just gonna add a couple more frames. This is why it was good to start with a short word. Add frame. And okay, that looks good. Let's do it one more time. Awesome. And then one other thing that you can try if you didn't want the animation to like write the word, disappear, and then write the word again, is you can go here into settings and you can try the ping pong loop method or loop setting. And this will make it go back and forth. So it'll write the word and then it'll like erase the word. So let's see what that looks like. So that's kind of cool. It has more of a fluid movement because it's doing the ping pong. I kind of like the way that that looks. So let's go ahead and pause this because we also need to get rid of our guide that we made. So let's go into our layers and we're gonna just go to the layer, the bottommost layer, and we're just gonna turn that off like that. And now we can play our animation. And now that you've finished your animation, you can go to the Actions menu, Share, and you can either export it as an animated GIF if you were going to use it on a website in text message or paste it into your Instagram stories, or you can do animated MP4 if you want to edit it into a video like your Instagram Reels, TikToks, YouTube, things like that. I hope you had fun with this one. There are a lot of possibilities with this method. You could do, of course, all kinds of words, all kinds of lettering styles. You can apply that method of creating a guide to kind of guide your animation and make it appear slowly over time with a lot of different things, like images, graphics, other illustrations, and things like that. Please join me in my next lesson of the Easy Eye-Catching Animations in Procreate course, where we're gonna learn how to add some animation to some of our existing artwork by adding just a little bit of very simple animation that can take it from static to something really fun and playful. Plus, there are over a dozen more bite-sized lessons where you can learn to make fun, captivating animations like these. You can take easy eye-catching animations in Procreate at artmakersclub.com and on Skillshare. I'll see you in the course.